everybody, today I'm going to be showing you how to create this spring pink makeup look. Little disclaimer, I have a cold, so I do cough, sniff and sound awful throughout the whole video. However, if you enjoy that type of thing, then keep watching. I've just colour corrected using some random colour correcting palette that I found on the internet, and moisturised and primed. So for foundation, I'm going to be using the Too Faced Born This Way foundation, which is one of my favourite foundations, and I am the shade Ivory. I'm just going to be putting that on with Beauty Blender. Okay, so foundation is done. So now we're going to move on to concealer, and for blemishes I'm going to be using the Rimmel Wake Me Up concealer in the shade True Ivory, and for under eyes I'm going to be using the Collection Lasting Perfection concealer in the shade 1, which is Fair. On to powder, and for all over the face I'm going to be using the Rimmel Stay Matte powder in the shade Silky Beige, which is number 5. I'm going to use like a big powder brush to shove that all over my face. And then for under my eyes, to set that, I'm going to use my NYX highlighting contour palette, and I'm just going to be using this shade, which is Soft Light. So this shade here is called Cream, and it's just a yellowy shade that I'm using to highlight underneath my cheekbones. So powder is done, and now we're going to move on to possibly my favourite element of makeup, which is contouring. And for that I'm still going to be using my NYX Pro Contour and Highlighting palette, and for my cheekbones I'm going to be using this shade, which is called Toffee / Caramel. And for my forehead, I'm going to be using the Urban Decay Beach Bronzer in the shade Bronzed, which is this. Contouring is done, so now we're going to move on to blusher, and for that I'm going to be using the Sleek Face Warm palette in Light, and I'm just going to be using this blusher. It's got beautiful rosy goldy hints to it. It's just lovely, and it creates a nice like sheeny cheek, and who doesn't love a sheeny cheek really? Now we're going to highlight, and I'm going to be using my Anastasia Beverly Hills Glow Kit in Gleam, because there's 2, and this one's the Gleam Kit for fairer skin, which I have. And I'm going to be using the shades Starburst, which is this one, and Crushed Pearl. I'm going to be using Starburst on my cheekbones and above my brow bone, and I'm going to be using Crushed Pearl on my nose, my cupid's bow and underneath my brow. So now you look all sheeny, we're going to move on to brows. And for that, I'm going to be using the shade Whiskey from the Naked Smoky Eye palette. And it probably seems weird that I'm using an eyeshadow for my eyebrows, but you know what? The shade doesn't have any reddy tones to it, and every like brow powder I've found that's like nearer my colour always has reddy tones to it, which doesn't work very well, and this one's just like straight up brown, which is nice. So now we look really scary with just my eyebrows on. We're going to move on to eyes. And the first thing I'm going to do is apply some sellotape to here to make a more defined line, because that's what I like. And then I'm going to prime my eyes with the Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion in Minor Sin, which is this like really pretty coppery colour, which will just add to the whole look. So now your eyes are all looking pretty and primed and sparkly. You're going to move on to the actual eyeshadow look. And for this we're going to be using the Naked 3 palette. I don't know why I keep saying we, like I'm doing this with loads of people, I'm just doing it on my own. So I'm going to be using the Naked 3 palette. Specifically the shades Limit, then Nuna, then Trick, Buzz, Black Heart, and Strange. I think this was called Strange. Yeah, Strange. And probably Dust as well, but we'll see what happens. Okay, so to start off this look, we're going to take Limit and put it straight in the crease. Then we're just going to take the shade Nuna and shove that on the inner crease, if there is such a thing. I'm bad with terminology. Now I'm taking the shade Trick and shoving that on the inner V and the outer V of my eye, and also dragging it straight through the crease as well, just to give it a bit more depth. Now I'm going to take the shade Black Heart and just lightly, like very lightly, putting a bit on the brush and then on the outer V and dragging it through the crease. Now I'm going to take the main shade, which is called Buzz, and I'm going to pat that all over the lid, because this shade basically brings the whole look together, because it is a very highly pigmented pink. It's so pretty though. Now I'm just going to be taking the shades Dust and Burnout and putting them on the inner corner of my eye just to brighten it a little bit. Now I'm going back in with Trick and I'm going to mix it with Buzz, and then use a slight like pencil brush and shove that under my lower lash line, just to, you know, just, I don't really know, but I think it looks cool. Now I'm taking the shade Strange and shoving that on my brow bone, and then I will be mixing it with a shade called High from the Naked Smoky Eye palette, and just to brighten the brow bone a bit. So now eyeshadow is done and you're looking really pink, you're going to move on to eyeliner. And for this look I'm going to be using the Urban Decay Ink for Eyes Waterproof Precision Eye Pen. I just got this recently and I can tell you that I am adoring it. I mean, the nib is very tiny, so it does create a very, well, you can increase the thickness how you want, but I have been loving this. It is brilliant. Eyeliner is now done. We're going to move on to eyelashes, and I'm going to use 3 products, and the first one is the Urban Decay Subversion, which is a lash primer, and then over that I'm going to be using the Urban Decay Perversion Bigger, Blacker, Badder. It's basically just a mascara that I'm just going to shove over the top, and then over that I'm going to be using Benefit's Roller Lash, because it just, I've basically run out of this, but the brush, oh my god. Eyelashes are done. They kind of look spidery, which makes me sad. But to finalise this look, we're going to do lips, and for this look I'm going to be using MAC lipstick in Brave, which is a satin lipstick, but it's so pretty. So this is the finished look. I will leave links to all the products that I used in the description. Well, let me just close that. I hope you enjoyed this. I shall see you next week with a new video. Bye!